Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh, shoot. I should get the chat open. I can't even see it. That's me. That's me. I'm live. Wow, I did not update anything. The date's all wrong. That's because I'm in a hurry. I've got an appointment at 4:30, but I was able to make time for you guys, you fans. No, just kidding. We got plenty to talk about today. Let me just open up the chat here so that I look somewhat prepared. So if you're typing the chat right now, I can't hear it. I can't see it because I didn't have the window open. Let me connect to the Wi-Fi. How's everyone doing? First of all, Galaxy S8. I think we had a first real leak of it recently. Did anyone else check that out? Oh wow, we're at 10,930. Very interesting. We're getting up there. We're gonna make it to 11,000 probably not today. So February for sure. Hi everyone. Hi yo. Spark 365, Liz, Eric, Argo, Jacob. Hey everyone. Lambo, Top Doge. Top Doge is top first. That's right. Let me change the title of this real quick. What is it? The 31st. It's the last day of January. January always goes by fast. Does anyone else notice that? It's also boring because it's the month after Christmas, so companies don't want to make anything. Let me open this real quick. Light. There. Maybe you can see me now better. All right. What are we going to talk about, audience? The Surface Book sucks. I agree, Colin. What are we doing today? I'll get into that. Guitari Life says, hey man, just got the 12-inch MacBook. What are your thoughts on it? I love that laptop. It's a shame that its specs are so bad. That's about the only thing I don't like about it. As in, if I could put the specs I have in the 15-inch MacBook Pro in that 12-inch body, I would do it. It is great. Yeah, Scott, you made it in time today. You were formerly SNS Picture. Okay, we get it. We're good. Hi, just got my new Apple Watch. How do you feel about yours? I feel it constantly. It's great. What do you want? No, I mean like Apple Watch scratches. Well, everything scratches if you try hard enough. Just watch Unbox Therapy. They're just like. But yeah, just be careful with it. Any watch will scratch, especially cheaper ones. But I've had this for how long now? Not very long, actually. I got it back in October. Or no, I think it was September when I got the Series 2. So I've had it for almost 4 months, 5 months. No scratches on mine. Still looking good. Still test the waterproofness of it every day because I wear it in the shower. Just in case like there's an emergency and someone needs to contact me because I'm in the shower. That's not an excuse anymore. The audio's not synced. Try refreshing. That's all I can do. There's not some sync audio button you guys seem to think that OBS has. Oh, the audio's out of sync. Let me click that. There. Now it's in sync. No, it doesn't exist. Okay. Someone said they're an Android fan. Jacob says, I'm a huge Android fan, but I just bought a MacBook due to your videos. Loving it so far. Good, Jacob. As long as you like it. Again, if you don't like a product, don't buy it. It's as simple as that, because a lot of people seem to hate a product that they don't ever buy. So the MacBook Pro is doing well. Thanks for asking. It's editing everything like a champ. There's a channel that I think a lot more people should subscribe to called Tailosive Talks, because we're going to be posting a lot more to that more recently. In fact, I could upload that when I'm done with this live stream. Today's live stream is not going to be as long as usual, unfortunately, because at 4:30 I have to get new license plates for my car because we bought it and it was registered for Washington and I live in California. So we can't be as long today, but hopefully I can get some knowledge in your brain faces. Oh, you converted one? I've converted many. No, I've gotten lots of people who said they've bought other stuff because of watching my videos, which is... It sucks because I feel like Apple should reimburse me for that in somewhat. Like, I'm doing them so much work. I'm selling so much for them, and I'm not getting anything from them. I think that'd be cool. But, so obviously, I'll probably make a separate video about this later. But for those 41 of you watching the live stream right now, oh, Gallagher, you just became a Patreon. Good for you. I think I got a notification about that. Yeah. There's not a lot of things happening in the tech world if you haven't noticed. It's pretty obvious that, I don't have a lot of video topics and we have to get a lot more creative. I won't deny that. It's obviously just kind of dead air season right now in terms of tech. And it's mostly because, hey, Hannah, hey, Jump Hacks, hey, Kermit Rehab. Um, Companies figure that right after Christmas, not very many people are going to want to buy things. So not much comes out in January time. But something does come out, and it's not from one of the big guys. It's from someone I know very closely. It's a tech company I've met the CEO of. It's called Tailosive. We sell these shirts now. Look, look, look. I mean, it's hard to see mine exactly, but oh, there. Put it in the light. That's our logo. I like having black on black because it's like really, really subtle, as in the shirt looks pretty basic. And this is like the rayon material, so it's really, really soft. You can buy that on our merchandise page, which, oh, I just realized is not in the description. I can get it real quick. But, of course, you don't have to buy anything. I personally don't like paying too much for clothes or merchandise, so I don't blame you if you think ours are too expensive. I actually don't set the prices of these shirts. Let me post it in the chat. There's a link and in the description. But they're really cool. In other words, you can get these shirts that have the logos on them. They got them in different colors. You got sweatshirts. We got mugs. We got travel mugs. We got t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, both for women and men and everything in between. So I hope you guys are able to go check those out because we set up that whole site just for you guys, and we don't really get much money out of it. I think we have to sell 15 shirts before we get anything. And once we sell that one first bulk, once we sell 15 shirts, we get like, I don't know, $5. So it's clearly for you guys and no one else. So check that out. Yeah, I did hear about that company that paints your AirPods black. I saw that, Ryan. I thought that was cool. I considered it. I didn't want to go like, how long was it? A week without my AirPods. Still using them every day. Still doing great. Let me get them out of my tiny pocket here. Still love these guys. Oh, they're really dirty right now because of my earwax. I bet they'd look less dirty if they were black. I bet there are so many. Yes, there are. There's a large selection of T-shirts you guys can check out there in that chat. Please feel free to buy them because they're just for you. I don't get barely anything out of it, but hope you enjoy them. But yeah, these are covered in earwax right now. I guess as long as they sound good, right? It doesn't really matter. Is the iPad Pro still worth it? Right now, Apple Steven, I wouldn't buy an iPad because they're the next thing Apple's going to update. So it wouldn't make much sense to buy one right now. And they haven't updated. I just realized that the 12.9-inch iPad has been out for longer than a year now because that came out in November of 2015. Yeah, so the last iPad refresh we got was March last year. I remember that keynote. And I remember thinking that was the worst keynote I've ever seen because it was like 1 hour and 30 minutes of it was just talking about how clean Apple is. And it's like, Apple, we get that you use clean energy and that's great. Like, but consumers are watching this to see what new tech is coming out. So am I looking forward to it? My expectations are what do I gotta say? Pretty low. As in, it's gonna take a lot to impress me because right now all we know is that there might be thinner bezels on the iPad and that the home button might be gone. I don't care about that. The problem with the iPads is not their design. Of course, I'll always welcome a brand new refresh when they've come up with a cool redesign for the iPad. That's fine, but there needs to be something more practical about it. What happened with the 12.9-inch release was it showed that they wanted high-end specs and high performance within a tablet. And the problem was there was never any sort of third parties to really take advantage of that. It's still been kind of a consumer product. So I haven't been able to use it for too much professional stuff. And for those asking, yes, I still use the iPad every day because Apple Pencil does not work on the MacBook. And the MacBook is oftentimes exporting stuff and doing high processing intensive things, and I leave it to do that while I use more consumer stuff on a big screen on the iPad, which I prefer because it's a touch interface. Things are much more optimized. I can get to things quicker than I can with a mouse. It's better for a consumer experience that's for casual stuff, but in terms of getting stuff done, getting work done, keyboard and mouse, trackpad, I should say, works better. Oh, look, The Verge just. Wait, not recently, but Apple sets a new record for iPhone sales. Look at that. Oh man, everyone says they were losing money though. What does it say? Thrilled to report our holiday quarter results generated Apple's highest quarterly revenue ever and broke multiple records along the way. We sold more iPhones than ever before and set all-time revenue records for iPhone services, Mac, and Apple Watch. Wow. The company took in $78.4 billion in revenue and sold 78 million iPhones? Wait, in what? In the last month? In the last quarter? Dang. 78 million. You guys even fathom how much that is? Each one being like close to $1,000. Dang. You didn't tweet about this stream? I don't tweet about most of them. What's your favorite iPad drawing app? Adobe Sketch. Why don't I tweet about this stream right now? That's a good idea. I will. iPhone 7 design film. Check it out. Okay. We need Obama to come back and redistribute the Apple earnings to my account. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But you're not producing that much, I'm afraid. Not gonna lie, I don't think you are. But either way, let me get a link. Oh no, I can do this on a Mac too. You guys want? No, I don't feel like it. I want to use the iPad. It's so much more optimized of an experience. Okay, I'm gonna hit copy link. I'm gonna go to Twitter. So yeah, I have a couple videos in the works. I know I've been kind of silent the last couple of days, but there's definitely some on the way. Unfortunately, they're not a topic I'm excited to go back to. The headphone jack. Okay. Yeah. But I think it's due to talk about because the Galaxy S... I could never pronounce it right. Galaxy S8 apparently is keeping the headphone jack. I was wrong. There were some reports saying that they would keep it, and apparently they've changed their mind, which I think creates a lot of problems, and it's no longer a problem that big distributors have to deal with. They can steal iPhone customers all they want. The problem is it's the customers that are going to be confused when companies like Apple say we don't need the headphone jack and they go through with removing it, and companies like Samsung say no, headphone jack can stay in the Google Pixel, and they keep it. It makes the smaller companies that make accessories really, really frustrated because they don't know what to optimize things for anymore. So that's why I think I'll be very mad at Samsung for keeping the headphone jack, and I'll be mad at Apple for keeping Lightning if they don't adopt USB-C. Let me post this real quick. Live now. Tweet. Will that open to the thing, please? Yes, it will. Okay, great. All right, let me look at the chat here. Should I get the MacBook Pro or wait for the next one? I think you should because, of course, it depends from person to person, but a lot of people seem to use the argument that the next MacBook is going to be faster and it's going to have 32 gigs of RAM. Of course it will. They're always going to get faster year by year. I think almost every year they would update the MacBook Pros in some way, shape, or form. They would update the specs on the inside or make it a little cheaper or something like that. You can always count on an annual upgrade, but right now they're pretty fresh. They're going to stay up to date for a while, so I'd say go for it now. But as time goes on, no, it doesn't make sense as they're going to get upgraded again every year, typically towards the holidays. Anyway, did you ever went to Canada? No, I did not, Spark. I don't travel very much. But to speak of traveling, I'm going to be not making tech videos. I haven't really formally announced this for a while. I think on this channel I haven't talked about it. But this Saturday, I will be flying to Florida. And I won't be able to I'll be gone for about a week. So there won't be tech videos on this channel. I'll make a more official video explaining it, or I'll make an official video where at the end of the video I tell everyone that I'm going to be gone for a while, but I'm still going to be making stuff. It's just going to be on a different channel, the Tailosive Talks channel, which is more daily life vlogs, and there's going to be all kinds of content I make on the Talks channel on that trip. But yeah, I don't get out very much. It's kind of sad. Matthew, I'm glad you love the channel. Next one with NVIDIA chip. Listen, whoever makes the chips, they're going to be faster. Just, they'll never be slower, okay? No, don't worry. There's still going to be content coming. It's just not on this channel. And I think now is a good time for it because not much is happening in the tech world. Have you noticed? It's kind of boring. Anyway, I thought you would like the Switch and say it was revolutionary because it differs from the desktop form factor. Would you like it more if it was made by Apple? Yes, Liz, but people misunderstand me when I say that because a lot of them will just say, well, you're biased, of course. It's got an Apple logo on it. But what I mean is when Apple makes something, they ensure that it's practical, they assure that it's beautiful, and that it's efficient. It has a very design given purpose. And I don't see that with the Nintendo Switch. But if Apple made something like the Switch, it wouldn't be exactly like the Switch. They would have found a way to make it functional. The fact that they're not making it, I think, is proof. It proves my point that that specific of a device is not going to be popular and it's not going to change anything. We're all going to get hyped about it because we've never seen it before. Man, did people get upset when I said that the what was it? The Wii U is kind of like that. People are like, the Wii U wasn't mobile. You can only be like 30 feet away from the console. I was like, well, how does that affect my argument? My argument was that a purpose of a mobile console is useless. And the Wii U is useless. And then they said, no, it didn't do that. It did less than that. And I went, oh, so the Wii U really is terrible. It's even worse than I thought it was. I thought you could take it anywhere. And yeah, there are people who own the Wii U. That's great. I'm just saying it did not take off. It did not change the industry. It's a niche market that Nintendo fans are proud of, and that's about it. People like to say Nintendo is the Apple of the gaming industry. I think that's not true because Apple's leading in a lot of industries. Nintendo is kind of back here, back far away from everyone else. Gaming PC is ruling the industry alongside the console battles between PlayStation and Xbox, but both of those are in decline. I think the PC market has been pretty similar, but Apple actually exceeds in a lot of stuff. I use Adobe Premiere for video editing, by the way. Maybe review Amazon weird stuff like Unbox Therapy. The thing with that is you need money. If you didn't know, like, I don't make a ton off of YouTube, and especially since there's not as many topics to cover right now, views for my channel are lower than usual, which means I'm even making less. I'm making about half as much as I did last month, which isn't good. But this was not cheap, as you guys know. The iPhone 7 Plus 256 gig that I review for you, for the channel, not cheap. AirPods, not cheap. iPad Pro, not cheap. New microphone, not cheap. SD card broke last week, not cheap. I gotta pay for all these things. Got a new car a couple weeks ago, not cheap. Drove it home. Brakes are bad. Had to replace the brakes. $500 right there. All that work I did in December, every single video I made in December, both on the tech channel and on the vlogs channel and on the main channel and on gaming and on movie reviews, all that money directly into the brakes in the car. Didn't get to spend any of it. A car review, that's coming. I did a vlog about the car. It'll be up soon. Make Spider-Man and Elsa videos. Oh, God. Why do you not use Final Cut, actually? Yeah, I used Final Cut for 2 years, so it's not like I've never tried it. But that was 3 years ago, so it's changed a lot since then. I'm considering switching back, but again, it's a money problem. I don't have $300 to spend on software right now. AirPods are a bargain, but yeah, that doesn't make them cheap. I'm just saying that's how great a product they are. The product is my favorite pair of headphones that I've ever had. I would pay a lot for those. I would pay more for these, but that doesn't mean they're affordable. Either way. Try reviewing cases for the iPhone. I really don't like cases, but I appreciate you guys trying. I really do. Like, it means a lot that you want to find more ideas. But honestly, I need a topic that I can elaborate on or like get people triggered about, and I can't really do that with the basic kind of reviews like that. So it's going to be a while. I think the next iPad... You don't like cases? I'm back in. Well, good, Argo. The next iPad release is going to be when I receive my next spike in views. Right now, there's just not a lot going on in the industry. In January, Google charges less for ads, which means all the creators make less money. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that until January. I just thought for some reason we were making less, and it turned out that Google turns down the prices, so you make less in January. So money is very tight right now, and I'm okay with it because um, I have the latest and greatest tech in every field for Apple right now. It was a really good time to run out of money. Like, I've got the newest MacBook, I've got the newest iPad, phone, watch, and AirPods. So it was great that it timed out like that. But still, I'm working very hard at the ranch. I worked from 8 to 4:30 yesterday at the ranch, and then I went on a bike ride, so I was just dead, and there was not a lot I could do. But everyone uses cases. I guess I'm not everyone, and that's not true. Lots of people go caseless. Believe it. It's an official Apple case. No, I don't even like the Apple cases. I love a caseless phone. It's so satisfying. It's all clean and pure. I prefer it that way. Sorry, I'm getting Snapchats. They're beautiful. Anyway, money. You don't need it. Good for you. I'm glad you don't need it. You used a case once. It was terrible. I tried a case when I had my first iPhone, the iPhone 5, but I very quickly didn't like it because it just makes the device so much bigger, and I don't like that. I like it to be thin and portable. So with my 6 Plus, I don't think I ever had a case on it. Never dropped it. Never cracked the screen. And we're at the same story with the 7 Plus. We just haven't needed protection on it because I'm a good phone user. Anyway. Oh, moving on. Since the iPad Pro has 4 gigabytes of RAM, do you think Apple will introduce multiple desktops on iOS like they do on macOS? No, because there's no desktops on iOS. There's just a list of apps to use. There's not really like the desktop where you have all your folders. So, how old are you? What was your first Apple product? I'm 18 years old. Very quickly next month, I won't say exactly when because I get annoyed by the notifications, but at some point next month I will be 19. I'm not going to tell you when, but at some point I will be 19. This next coming month. And my first Apple product was an iPod Nano 4th generation. I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. I was pretty young, and I paid for it myself. I, for Christmas, bought my own Christmas present. It was an Apple product. Wow, just a baby. Yeah, I know. I'm so young. You could be my father? Oh, God. I hope that's not true, Matthew H. says. Okay, so you know how Apple reinvented the phone with the iPhone? Do you think Apple will reinvent something else? Because Apple seems to, copy what other tech-related companies do. I think they'll reinvent augmented reality glasses next. That's the next move forward. But those haven't really taken off yet. So that's why I think Apple has the chance to make them new and make them real. So I think it's very likely in 2018 you'll have to get used to me wearing glasses because hopefully by then I'll have enough money to afford the augmented reality by then. But I really wish they would reinvent the car. I think that's really sad that they didn't go through with that. I really wanted to see them compete with Tesla, and there's all these rumors now saying that that's not happening. So it's a shame, but yeah, it's we're running out of things to reinvent though. It's gonna be something we don't expect. I think that's what I notice about the future. God, are we dropping frames? When did we drop frames? And why? How are you? I'm doing okay. I had an okay day. It was a little fussy earlier, but whatever. The saddest thing about Tesla is that I can't use CarPlay. Exactly. Like, why can't Apple and Tesla work together on this kind of stuff? Why is Tesla the only person in the field? They need some more true competition. And I'm not talking about the Chevy Volt. I'm talking about luxury electric premium car drive manufacturers that also design the self-driving technology, not just electric. That's not enough. It's got to be a real Tesla competitor that's not just faraway future, that makes concept cars. I don't get those people. Anyway, Concept from Hannah Jackson says mouse with a touch surface on the top with similar functionality to the touch bar, maybe. Okay, mouse with a touch surface. So it's kind of like the Magic Mouse, but it's got a display on it that changes. Interesting. I don't know about adding different functions to the mouse, but I just mean you could make a really cool looking mouse if you had visuals that were projected on it. You may have to charge it more, but if we figure out true wireless charging, then that would be great. Oh, your AirPods are coming tomorrow? Will the setup process work on my 6 like it will on the 7? I don't think so, but it'll work. It'll work fine, but I don't think it'll be that seamless, unfortunately. The iPhone 7 designs film 130. It got 3 lenses. Please check it out now. Okay, I'll check it out later. Sorry. Not now. I was just going to focus on what people are saying. Tesla stole the guy behind Swift, as far as I know. They're in thermonuclear war with Tesla now. Huh. I hope it's not thermonuclear. That wouldn't be good for us, but still. Yeah, I hope people realize that my logo is not the Tesla logo. You guys know that, right? There's like a key difference between this logo and the Tesla logo. Mine has 5 pieces. The Tesla has 2, and it's all rounded off. Anyway, yes, I can see your comments. I can see everyone's. There was this Reddit thread about the concept of a Mac Mini that's built into a keyboard, inspired by the fact that the MacBook architecture is so tiny. What do you think about that? Okay, so you're saying we basically have the bottom portion of a MacBook. Just remove this monitor section, and that's your computer. And then you plug it into a monitor. I don't know if there'd be much of a market for that, because I think everything nowadays is all about being mobile. Everything's about how portable we can take things. I don't see desktops as a growing field. That's why I think it's not likely Apple will update the iMac, but it's possible. It'd be nice if they did. But I guess someone would buy it. Someone would. I wouldn't. I prefer laptops, but don't expect much updates coming to the Mac Mini. It's just a dying market. I understand that there are people in it, but it's not growing. Do you use the home feature a lot? Home feature? No, because I don't know what that is. But I still think the smart home development side of things is not going to take off as well as they'd like it to, just because I don't think people care for the process of turning on the lights or changing the color of the lights with your phone to set the mood, or having the curtains come up. That's cool and it's handy, but I don't think that's gonna explode or take off. It's gonna have to, for things to actually work or like turn into stuff, turn into a growing industry that people actually want to be a part of. They might just have to build it into houses. I don't think everyone's gonna go out and buy more smart home appliances. Greetings from Germany. I hope you keep up, I think, the good work. I really love your channel, your sarcasm, and AMD, your opinions. Great. No, appreciate it, Daniel. No, I understand. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. Autocorrect is confusing. From where did you get that big Tesla poster in your room? It was a present from my sister for Christmas. They got me that flag. It's not actually a poster. It's like fabric. They just had Tesla on it because they know I love Tesla, and I would buy a Tesla if I could, but can't. Definitely can't right now. But yeah, big fan. So they sent me in. I was like, thank you, because it fits in the background of the channel so well. Anyway, any word on the reason for the AirPod delivery delay from February 19th to 28th? They're high in demand. Why else is there a delay? There's only so many reasons that the product is ever delayed. It's likely because some of them may have been designed improperly, or they're too high in demand and the supplier can't keep up. But what I do know is AirPods have quickly become the most popular wireless headphones on the market, like by far. They outshined everyone, even Apple's own Beats headphones. They're doing better than they are. But I'm against jailbreaking iPhones. Sorry, I've been ignoring that question so much. But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it done before. My friends would do it. I would see occasional tweaks that are useful, but it's so much work to get it on there. What I like about my Apple products is that they work seamlessly and I don't have to think about it. And that's jailbreaking is kind of like making that more complicated. I like iOS being pure. I want to keep it that way. Anyway, why not replace the touch bar with custom LED keys? I keep hitting them by accident all of the time, and I don't ever use the slide aspect of it. I feel like you have to use the slide aspect to like change your volume and stuff, or like scrubbing through a video, but I'm sorry you don't use it as much. But I think they're going to stick with the touch bar because I think they like it, and I think their users are pretty much in favor of it at this point. I do edit vlogs on my iPad Pro. I don't edit tech videos. I used to, though. Some of my most popular tech videos were made on this little guy here. But vlogs are basic enough. I don't need Adobe Premiere to edit vlogs, so I do that on iMovie. Just switched the keyboard specifically for this. Your upload times are perfect for me. Every time when I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can watch a video. Well, for me, they're always like late at night because I can't upload at my house. But yeah, you're welcome. Why do you think should be the next Doctor actor should be seeing as Peter Capaldi is leaving? Oh, I don't know. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I'm sorry. I thought a lot of people stopped watching the series after Peter Capaldi. But are you going to... I don't know what that is. Sorry, Joseph. Can you explain? I always assume I don't know what an acronym is, except LOL. I can figure that one out. Or OMG. Those are basics, but I don't know what that is. Yeah, I am at a friend's house. I can't upload at my residence because the internet is so bad. So literally, every time you see a video posted, I am at someone else's house. I have to drive that much. Yeah, I don't live in my friend's room. This is my friend's room. He's at college right now. So he lets me borrow his computer that I'm using. I was watching Tailosive Talks and heard you were also a Lost fan. My favorite show. Lost is great. So elaborate. A lot of people hate the ending. I really liked it, but yeah. There's a lot to talk about. You guys should head over to Tailosive Talks because that channel is going to be a lot more active next week. A lot more than this one because daily life is something I can just keep reporting on. Tech is something that we run out of stuff to talk about. Unfortunately, this will not be a long live stream. I am sorry. With laptops getting thinner and more portable, where does that place tablets in the future? Again, the problem with tablets is software. It's not hardware. We have the power needed in the iPad Pro. We need more companies, hopefully the manufacturers like Apple or Samsung, designing pro editing or pro useful software into the tablets for people to actually consider them laptop replacements. Because right now they're great at doing casual things. They can replace a laptop if all you do on the laptop is, check Facebook, watch videos, Netflix, emails. If you're doing basic things like that, a tablet's great. But the reason a lot of people aren't switching to the tablets is because they need something more professional for gaming or video editing or audio editing, and then it's just not there yet. It's not a hardware problem. Oh, it's already long? 30 minutes? That's not that long. Yeah, I know I've subscribed all of your Tailosive channels. All nice. Thank you. Okay, they're not all nice. You don't have to lie, but thank you. I appreciate that. I watched Tailosive, the main channel, and I was watching some videos, and they were hilarious. Yeah, everyone said that. I'm really glad because that's the channel I've been doing the longest. I did that years before I even started the tech channel. And everyone basically who goes to the main channel, which is just Tailosive, there's no adjective afterwards, says that they really like the shorts there. So I appreciate you guys enjoying that so much. No, I do not watch Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. I don't have time. I'm actually not watching anything right now because I'm so busy between work and YouTube and life happening. There's so much going on that I do not have very much time to watch movies, watch TV shows. I just don't do it. It's just very little downtime. What are you studying in school? Nothing. I don't go to school. I'm a college dropout. Tailosive is really funny. Good. MC2, I'm glad it is. Yeah, because I don't watch Game of Thrones because I have a life. Oh, I just got all the dislikes. Don't care. Whatever. I've had so many channels in my life. This one is even a new one. I've had 8. Scott, I've had 8 to 10 as well. I lost the first YouTube channel I ever had. I forgot the password for it. It's still drifting out there somewhere, and I just can't access it. The second one I used for about a year with my friends. We all shared it, and then after about a year, I decided to break off and make a channel for just my stuff, and that's where we are. That's where Tailosive came from. You, sir, are no gentleman. This is true. I'm not a gentleman. Anyway. Yeah, you guys should check that stuff out. One day you will watch Game of Thrones and hate yourself for not watching it sooner. I hate myself already. Don't worry about that. My favorite thing is the magic skit you did on Tailosive. Great, Corbin. Yes, I like that too. And it's really hard because those videos are the hardest to make because it's so many people that have to come together to get that to work. That's why we aren't able to make a new video every Saturday like we used to. Because I'm spending all my time on vlogs, podcasts, and tech videos. So there's very little time to spare on the comedy scores. The comedy sketches. Savor the Moment was another good one. Thank you. Have you considered taking improv or skit writing classes? No, because I'm so good at it, I don't need a class. What? I would just teach it. I'm not a fan of the classroom experience. That's the reason I'm not in school. Is because I feel like that's not a good way to learn something, is to Have one person talk to lots of people about doing one thing. I think it's best to actually do something over and over again, even if you're not good at it, to become good at it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself to make as many as I can, as many as possible. But in school, I don't think you can really live up to your fullest potential because you're being graded on the possibilities of 30 people, which means, the classroom can only move as fast as its slowest kid. Whereas, and I might be the slowest kid, who knows? I just don't think that's the proper way to learn how to do that sort of thing. I think the best way to learn is to do it. That's what I'm doing. It depends on the subject too. You're right, Hannah. Good point. But I haven't had many subjects where the classroom was a good way to learn it. But of course it's different for everyone. That's just me. For other people, it helps to be in a classroom where lots of people are learning the same thing. Do you use a password manager? No, just I call it keychain. That's about it. What's my favorite drink? I'm really not picky about food. I just about eat anything or drink anything. My mom makes these like smoothies that look like tree barf, but I drink them because they taste good, but they look terrible. You got to be really brave. Favorite drink? I definitely get soda. Like I used to drink Rockstars all the time, but then my girlfriend asked me to stop, so I did because she's the boss. She's the boss. She said that they were unhealthy and she was concerned about my health, so I said, okay, I don't want you to worry. So I've quit energy drinks, but I like a good basic Dr. Pepper, root beer, Sierra Mist. I don't like beer. First of all, I'm not old enough to drink, but there have been times where my parents were like, just try a little bit of it. I wouldn't just douse it down. I've had like sips before, and anytime I've had a tiniest sip of something with alcohol in it, I've been like, that stuff is awful. So I'm not a fan of booze. Like when I'm 21, I'm still not gonna drink because I don't like the taste. Give me an excuse to buy a cheap Mac rather than PC. I've been tempted to buy cheap PC laptops. Casper, the cheap PC laptop will last you 1 year. The cheap Mac will last you 5. Ask anyone. Don't say that on YouTube. Why? You gonna report me? They don't get people in trouble for those kinds of things. Anyway, how old are you actually? I know. I'm 18. I will be 19 in a matter of weeks. You will like the taste. No, I don't get that. Everyone always says, it's an acquired taste. As you get older, you'll start to like it. That's never happened to me. That's never been the case where I don't like something and force myself to like it. Or, yeah, I know in Germany you can drink at the age of 16. That's great. But you can't. I've never been convinced that I like something. Like I still don't drink coffee. People think I'm crazy for that too. People in my whole family, everyone drinks coffee in the morning. I don't like coffee that much. And they said, well, when you get older, you'll like coffee. It'll grow on you. I'm almost 19. I still don't like coffee. I'm just not into it. You keep trying crack and I don't like it. Well, you just got to keep at it. You just got to keep snorting that cocaine as much as you can until you like it. That was sarcasm, by the way. It doesn't make sense to tell someone that if you try it enough, you'll like it, because you could do that with anything. Can't you like urine? You don't like it at first, but if you just keep drinking piss, eventually you'll get on it. Anyway, how do you feel about jailbreaking? I'm not a fan. I've talked about it. Should I make a video about why I'm not a fan of jailbreaking? It's because I like that pure experience. It's not really something I want to tinker with. It's turning iOS into Android, and that's what I don't like. In Wisconsin, you can be served alcohol if you're a minor with your parents. That's great. I'm sure that you can drink alcohol when you're 8 years old if no one's watching, but I don't care. I don't like the taste. I haven't had very much. I've had sips. Like I could about that much. This is about how much alcohol I've had in my entire life, like from very, very light sips years ago. Not at parties, just from mom and dad saying like this is what it tastes like. And always hated it. Still do. I don't understand why everyone's so defensive about it, given it turns you into like someone. Anyway, let's talk about tech. We're not on the Talks channel. We can't talk about this. You're 36 and you don't drink because you don't like the taste. There you go. Do you think Siri will be overhauled this year with the release of the iPhone 8? I don't think with the release. I think WWDC is when they're going to tease all of the new Siri upgrades. I'm very curious to see what we add in iOS 11, what we add in macOS, whatever they're going to call it, watchOS 4. watchOS 4 is going to be interesting because we really don't know what they're going to what are they going to do? Like add video mode support in the camera remote app. Okay, there's one. Oh, I thought of one the other day. I was just thinking about this. When you're texting someone, like when you're in the Messages app and you're using Scribble or you're dictating or whatever, don't have a notification when you get one come up from that. Because you're writing on the display. Don't cover up the whole display with a notification. It doesn't make sense. Do you watch everything Apple Pro? No. I don't really watch a lot of tech channels. Honestly, like I said, I don't watch much, actually. There's not a lot of things I have time for. But the reason I wanted this whole biased tech channel was because every tech channel I watched was so bland and not interesting. No one really provided their opinion on anything. Everyone just kind of listed the tech specs and then moved on. I'm just like, let's get some opinions in the mix. We didn't have that. Anyway, getting a bunch of notifications on Twitter, and I don't know why. Anyway. You think Apple should make their own hue lights? No, I don't care about hue lights. It's just lights are not something I think need to be redesigned. They're just kind of there. They exist. I don't need them to change colors. I don't need my phone to turn them on. A light switch is not that hard. That's not something we need to fix. It will be fixed over time, but it's not something we need to rush. What type of YouTubers do you watch? I watch more movie review channels than I do tech channels. I really like Red Letter Media. They're my favorite. They're the only YouTube channel I've bought merchandise from and like digital media from, just because they make me laugh so much. But again, they're like nothing like this tech channel at all. In fact, the people at Red Letter Media hate Apple quite a lot. And I put up with it because, people can have different opinions. We all respect each other. I've heard of Every Frame of Painting, but no, I don't watch them. I've seen a lot of their work, but no. watchOS 4 is make it a medical device with EKG and pulse oximeter apps, increase sales to elderly with insurance reimbursement. There you go, Joseph. That was a good point. Before the Apple Watch came out, it was rumored that insurance companies were going to use the Apple Watch as a way of monitoring how healthy users were, and then you would get reductions in your insurance money if you could prove you're a healthy person. I just feel like that would be abused really easily. Like you could put the Apple Watch on your dog and then make your dog run around and it'd be like, wow, you burned 5,000 calories today. That's a lot. And you're like, I'm very active while you're eating down a donut. But yeah, something like that would be great. Apple drone. I don't know if I've made a video about this, but I think drones are the next GoPro. What it is something that we get really passionate about because the idea of it is cool. Using it is cool. We all like the idea of having small, portable, high-resolution cameras that you could strap onto anything and record that perspective of. And then a few years go by and we realize there's only so much you can do with it. You can't really show GoPro footage for very long and have it be interesting. So now the new GoPro is drones. Everyone's talking about flying your cameras up in the air and getting those helicopter shots because they look beautiful. They do. I'm not denying they look beautiful. My problem is in film and in documentaries or feature films or whatever you want to use, you can only use drone shots for so long. It can go for about 4 to 5 seconds and then it gets bored. And yeah, of course we still use them, but like the hype around it isn't really... We're all hyped about something that's not functional. It's cool because we can get the cheap helicopter shots and we never had them before, but we're going to very quickly realize what you can do with it is fairly limited. As in, it's a $1,000 4-second shot. That's about it. You don't get much out of it than that. It's really cool because you get the remote control and you can control it from your phone and you have all these different ways of interacting with the drones. So it's like the process of filming drone footage is actually more fun than the footage itself. That's why we're so into it. In about 10 years, no one's going to really care about drone footage. It'll be there, just like GoPros. They'll always be available, but the craze around them will be. It's true. I have the Mavic and I'm bored with it. There you go. There's only so much you can do with a drone shot. It's really cool for 5 seconds, and then you're done. Then you're kind of bored. But the process of getting that 5 seconds is really fun, and that's why we're all into it. Going to Disney World next week? No, I'm going to. Well, I won't tell you the city because it's personal, but I'm going to visit my girlfriend who is in Florida right now, and you'll see vlogs. You can see her. Anyway, that Tailosive shirt, stealthy. Yeah, I love it. I love how minimalistic it is. Let me shine it in the light. Like, you can't see it from all angles. That's why I bought this one in particular. There's lots more you can buy that are not stealthy, but still, yeah. Check them out. The link's in the description. At Spreadshirt. I don't set the prices. I don't ship them. So if you have any of those problems, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. Yeah. They're just, you're right, Scott. They're used for very quick shots, and that's about it. There's not much else. Sugarboy says, I was considering buying a MacBook Pro and pairing it with an LG Ultrafine 5K display. Do you have any suggestions of what configuration of Mac I should get? What you can afford. Obviously, the more you put into it, the better. But I thought about getting an external monitor for my MacBook, but I realized there's not... Yes, Charlie. It's right here. The new MacBook Pro. There's not a lot of instances where I take my laptop, sit it down, and say, man, I wish I had the giant monitor to work with. I just love it being portable. I can move it anywhere I want. I can be on the bed. I can be on the couch. I can be watching TV. I don't really ever take it to a desk and sit it down and use it as a powerhouse. If you're going to be using desktop stuff a lot, you should buy an iMac, not a MacBook. But, well, don't buy an iMac. They might update them soon. But so, no, I'm not really in favor of, like, getting the external monitors. But in terms of what configuration, obviously, maxed out version's the best, but it's also the most expensive. So if you can't afford that, then get the cheaper one. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I'm glad you have it, too. Are you into politics at all? You don't have to tell us who you voted for or anything, just if you're into it, /follow politics. Let's just say I have very firm beliefs, and I'm very smart in the way of knowing that if people send me death threats for saying I like Apple, if I talked about politics, I think someone might actually kill me. So I'm not ready for that yet. Maybe at some point in the future where my career is established enough where I can make those kinds of risks, maybe I'll get into politics, but not anywhere near. We're not anywhere near that because the internet is not a mature place to talk about something like that. I do have very firm beliefs, though. I'm just not going to tell you what they are. I think that in the next watchOS, they should add more customization for the watch faces and have more watch faces and have more customization for colors and more features and stuff. I'm sure we'll get more watch faces. I don't doubt that. Oh, yeah. I get lots of death threats. But I don't brag. I'm not trying to brag about that. Like, a lot of people seem to think that they're cyber bullied because someone told them to kill themselves or that they were going to kill them. Like, it's the internet. Any idiot out there can write anything and they can lie about anything. They're not taking it seriously. There's very rare times someone says, I'm going to kill you, and then they actually kill you. That almost never happens. So I don't really have much sympathy for people who say they've dealt with a lot of cyberbullying and I got death threats online. It's like everyone does. I mean, a guy like me runs a tech channel. I barely do anything offensive, and yet I get death threats. It's not everyone's going to get death threats. If you have a voice, get used to it. You know, people are going to disagree with you, and they're going to be idiots. It's one thing you learn about the internet, and it really makes me... It's hard to restore faith in humanity when you meet a lot of jerks like that. But there's a lot of nice people out there that I've talked to as well, and a lot of you very generous, very loving people who don't type anything in the chat, and I really appreciate you guys, even though you want to stay quiet. I have respect for you. I'm usually one of you in live streams. In my opinion, Apple's customer support is really helpful and helped me figure out a couple problems with my Apple ID. Also, have you ever had to use Apple's customer support? No, not really. That's kind of why I buy Apple products, is because I don't want to have to talk to someone on the phone about how to get this product to work. Customer support is usually something I'm not a fan of, because if I'm using it, something's wrong with the product, right? But so I haven't had really any experience. You know, when we bought my MacBook Pro, we went to the Apple store in Roseville, California. And when I went there, we went up and she said, have you been helped? And we were like, no, but we know what we want. And she was like, Okay, there's a line of people back there. They're waiting to be helped. You need to go stand behind them so that you can get your pickup or you can decide what product you want. And I just told her, I know what I want. It's right here. We were standing right next to the 15-inch MacBook Pro. I just want that one. I don't need help deciding. Like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, I'm very sure I want the 15-inch MacBook Pro. And she brought up like the different spec'd out versions, and I was like, she's like, are you sure you need to look over these options? And I was like, nope, that one. And I get it. I'm not blaming her. It's just they have to treat everyone in there like they're a mindless Apple sheep, like they don't know what they're buying. So they have to take everything very slowly and walk through everyone's process very carefully. But that's just kind of frustrating for someone who actually knows what they're talking about when you go in there and you say, I want a 16 gigabytes of RAM, i7 core, 256 gigabytes of PCIe based solid state storage with a 15.4-inch Retina display, MacBook Pro with touch bar. And they're like, oh, are you sure you know what that is? And you're like, uh-huh. It's like, it's hard. It's hard for us. What is the best YouTube camera? I don't know what the difference between a YouTube camera and a regular camera is. The red weapon. It shoots in 8K. There you go. Can we stop calling Apple fans Apple sheep and instead calling them Apple seeds? No, because that doesn't make sense. Sheep will follow anything blindly if you tell them to. You got to herd them. That's why they call them sheep. Anyway, I couldn't use the messaging app between my iPhone and my Mac. I'm sorry to hear that. You usually go into the settings and you go to messages. You've probably already tried this, but it should say what addresses you send and receive from in the messages in the settings app, but I don't know. Figure it out. Google it. I would never be able to work at Apple because I wouldn't be able to stand the idiots who don't know anything. I already get frustrated at McDonald's customers. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I had to deny people who said I should work for Apple. I should work at an Apple store because I know so much. I was like, well, on YouTube, I can talk about what I know and my opinion on thing. At the Apple Store, I'd have to explain to someone what RAM is and how many pixels are on the, and how many cores this thing has and how that makes it better. Like, I'd be talking basics all day, and I just have to memorize the checkout process of all these different things. Not really get to talk about what I'm interested in. No one could. Tailosive tech support. There you go, Hannah. I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to have people walk in and me tell them what I think Apple's going to release next year. Or they're going to ask, should I buy one of these? And I'd have to say, no, you shouldn't because they're going to upgrade them soon. And then I'd get fired. Something like that would happen. Have you heard about Apple's Q1 statements? Yeah. We read them at the beginning. I had it open here. Yeah, they sold $78.4 billion in revenue. It was crazy. iPhone sales increased. iPads dropped. Yeah, it makes sense. Not much is happening in the iPad market. Macs increased to 1%. How is that possible? How are Macs doing better? Yeah, overall revenue increased. It's great. Anyway, guys, I hate to cut it short here, but I said I've got to go to the DMV, which, is fun. The California Department of Motor Vehicles, always a wild time in there, to get new license plates for my car. So I'm going to have to cut it a little short today. Apologize for that, but I'm going to go home, work on some more tech videos for you guys, but keep in mind that there's going to be more and more content posted to Tailosive Talks for the next week because there's not that much happening on the tech industry to talk about. Yeah, I'm sorry you just got on, but it's done afterwards, so you can go back to the beginning. But Talks is going to have podcasts, Couch Time, which is just a talk show with me and my friend Xander, and vlogs. So check that channel out. There's going to be plenty of content there. I'd really appreciate it if we could get 2 channels bringing me an income instead of just one, because it kind of sucks that when nothing interesting happens in the industry, I have to work twice as hard. That's very hard. I'm going to miss you too. Thank you, everyone. What was answer your question? What was it? Danny, what was it? What do you think Apple can improve on the 2016 MacBook besides the processing and performance? Make it lighter. There you go. That was the last one. Have a good one. Yeah, I'm going to have fun getting them plates. This is your Apple Sheep here. Make sure to check out Spreadshirt for Tailosive swag. It's in the description. It'd be really great if you did. I'd love to see my logo and shirts all over the world. That would mean a lot. And if my girlfriend's in the chat, please say hi. Just so I can know you're there. Either way, this is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.